Few things rank higher than the sauna in terms of cultural importance to Finland. While the rest of the world knows saunas mostly for their health benefits, in Finland, sauna is practically a religion. Put into context, in Finland there are more saunas than cars, with about 3.3 million saunas in the whole country. For further reference, there are about 5.5 million people in Finland. So theoretically, every single Finnish person could fit into a sauna at the same time. Every Finnish embassy has a sauna, and saunas have been used to cool tensions with the Soviets in the past, a move known as sauna diplomacy. Finnish people put saunas everywhere. There's a sauna in a Burger King, Ferris wheel, and even UN peacekeeping missions in Iraq and Afghanistan. When Finnish people go to space, they'll build some kind of zero-gravity sauna. I'm sure of it. We'll be seeing Finnish people taking saunas on the moon. I'm pretty positive my grandma was born in a sauna. In fact, in 2020, UNESCO added Finnish sauna culture to its intangible cultural history list. Visiting Finland without going to a sauna is like going to New York City and not grabbing a slice of pizza. Sure, maybe you visited, but did you really get the full experience? Not a chance. So I'm here to help you navigate Helsinki saunas and decide which is the right one for you. But first, yes, I am saying sauna, or as you may know it, sauna. Technically, both pronunciations are correct in English, but sauna is one of the few words in the English language with Finnish roots, so I feel it's proper to pronounce it the Finnish way. I know it may seem a bit pretentious and can come off as snobby, but because I speak Finnish, I feel that it's a little easier for me to say sauna, and it's just kind of proper. It's like somebody saying jalapeno. It just sounds kind of wrong. Saunas have been around in Finland for thousands of years. Before hospital births became mainstream, Finnish women would often give birth in the sauna because it was the most hygienic and warm place in a Finnish home. That's why I think my grandmother was born in a Finnish sauna. In Finland, it's extremely rare for a house to not have a sauna, and it's really rare when an entire apartment building has no sauna at all. Not only are saunas important to the history of Finland, but they're also important to the development of Helsinki as a major city. When Helsinki was growing rapidly in the late 1800s, early 1900s, many of the apartments were too small for a proper bathroom. Rather, they would have communal saunas on almost every city block. Industrialization and subsequent suburbanization led to a lot of these communal saunas being put out of business, mostly because now Finnish people could afford their own private saunas. But there are still a few of these communal saunas that you can go visit for yourself. Saunas come in a few different varieties. You've got infrared saunas that are a little bit more space-agey, your traditional smoke saunas, and then you have the standard Finnish sauna. Now, the standard Finnish sauna operates as a stove with rocks on top that is used to heat up the sauna. Oftentimes, actually, if it's a Finnish sauna, all the time, throwing water on top of the rocks. Now, the Finnish sauna can further be divided into two categories: electric heated and wood heated. Purists will say only wood heated is the true Finnish variety. However, both electric and wood accomplish the same end goal, getting the sauna hot. The biggest culture shock for foreigners when they go to a Finnish sauna is always nudity. Finnish people are very comfortable with nudity, especially in the sauna. They won't always force you to be nude, but there are certain cases where a swimsuit will not be allowed, but you can always cover up with a towel. Different saunas have different rules for nudity and who can be nude around who. Many of the saunas that cater more towards tourists tend to require swimwear. Some of the more traditional Finnish saunas will be entirely nude, but you can generally cover up with a towel there. For Finnish people, saunas are a place for relaxation, and acting creepy in them or inappropriately is extremely taboo. And people who do act this way tend to be scolded. The sauna is an almost holy place in the Finnish national mindset. A shrine towards rewinding, recuperation, and letting go of external problems. In the sauna, we're all stripped down. No titles, no money, and everyone is seen as equal. It's a really Finnish take on egalitarianism. But if there are naked people in the sauna, just try not to gawk or stare. I'm not going to convince you to get entirely nude in the sauna if you're uncomfortable with that, but I will say, it is pretty nice not having to worry about packing a swimsuit. Besides nudity, here are a few other guidelines to follow. Perhaps the most important is to always keep the door closed. If you keep the door open to a sauna, all the heat will escape and it ruins the experience for everyone. So make sure when you enter and exit the sauna to keep the door closed. Otherwise, you'll probably hear Finnish people screaming, ovikini, which means door closed in Finnish, if you couldn't put two and two together. Another very important aspect of the sauna is to only throw fresh water on the sauna. Some saunas will not let you wear a swimsuit into the sauna because it'll have chlorine water on it, which will ruin the experience. In the same vein, don't throw pool water that may have chlorine and other chemicals onto the sauna. Otherwise, you'll have chlorine gas all over the sauna and it can be extremely dangerous to people's health, perhaps deadly. Another aspect is if you throw salt water onto the sauna, it will corrode the sauna stove. So make sure only throw fresh water onto the rocks. If the sauna is too hot for you, you can always take a seat on a lower bench. Remember, heat rises and it's hotter the higher you go. So if you go lower, it's gonna be a bit more manageable. You can also find other ways to cool off. You don't need to ice swim, but just step outside the sauna. It's definitely a big part of the tradition and a huge part of Finnish sauna culture. Be communal. There's a bucket of water on the sauna for throwing water onto the rocks. Don't be afraid to fill it up if it gets too low. Again, with fresh water. If possible, shower or bathe before going into the sauna. It's more hygienic and the experience is a lot better when you start out wet. This last one is extremely important, but stay hydrated. Now, when you're in the sauna, you lose a lot of water, and when you're in the sauna with Finnish people, you tend to drink a lot of alcohol. If you decide to drink alcohol, it's important to have a water bottle on hand. You'll be doing two dehydrating activities at the same time and can get a little bit delirious. So make sure you're drinking enough water. And even if you're not drinking alcohol, it's important to have enough water on hand. These just cover the basics, and different saunas will have different rules. So keep that in mind when you go and visit. Make sure to check the rules at the sauna you decide to go to. Now that we understand the basics of Finnish saunas, let's go over some of the best ones to go visit when you're in Helsinki. Let's start with what I think is the perfect starter sauna, Alas Sea Pool. Alas Sea Pool is in a convenient, tourist-friendly location in the center of town. If you don't have enough time to go really explore Helsinki, this is perfect if you have like a layover or you only have 24 hours in Helsinki. This is the sauna to go to. However, in my eyes, the main attraction isn't actually the sauna, but rather the heated pool outside to about 27 degrees Celsius. Even during a blizzard, it's this warm, and it's a really surreal experience to be swimming in the water while snow is falling down around you and feeling completely comfortable. Are you searching for something a bit more upscale? Well, then your choice is Lolu. Now, Lolu is a Finnish term for the essence of a sauna. It's kind of hard to translate, but it generally means the vibe or the feeling within a sauna after water is thrown on the rocks. Lolu is not only one of the top destinations in Finland, but it's arguably one of the top destinations in the world. It is also a top-rated restaurant and bar with an amazing terrace looking out onto the Helsinki archipelago. Lolu is the pinnacle of the Helsinki sauna experience, and it costs about 20 euros, but you need to book ahead because spots go up quick. Going a bit from upscale to traditional, we can go to Kotiharju sauna. Kotiharju is also the oldest running sauna in Helsinki, which means it's an experience in and of itself. The sauna is an icon with its neon sauna sign, and it's a piece of history that you can go and experience for yourself. Initially built in 1928 for the railroad workers living in the same building, the sauna has been family owned and wood-fired for almost 100 years. It also has separate men's and women's facilities. The sauna is an institution of its eclectic neighborhood, Kallio. If you're looking for a bit more of an adventure and it happens to be summer, because this sauna is only accessible during the summer when the ferries are open, Lonna is the perfect sauna for you. You have to take a ferry, as I've previously said, to get to this small island known as Lonna, but once you're there, it's an oasis away from the city with amazing views to complement the experience itself. You need to book ferry tickets ahead of time, and you also need to check to see if there's a spot available in the sauna. Plus, the island has other attractions too, like a few restaurants, cafes, and a rotating art gallery. Last, but certainly not least, is my favorite sauna. And you might see me there from time to time if you go visit yourself. What is Sauna sauna? Sauna sauna is not for everyone, and I'm willing to admit that. But it's kind of Finland's take on Christiana or Burning Man counterculture. just in the form of a sauna. It's an anarchist sauna that was started without the city's approval almost 10 years ago and has grown into an entire sauna community. It's the only completely free sauna option in Helsinki. And it's where many people go to get their sauna fix because sometimes it's the only option. It's got amazing options to swim, an amazing community around it. Sauna attracts a variety of people. You'll meet exchange students, locals, and all around just interesting characters. Now, the mood of sauna changes depending on what time of day it is. When the sun's out, it's not rare to see families with small children running around sauna. But when it gets a little bit dark, let's just say the crowds get a little bit more raucous. Sauna is open 24/7, and it's rare to have the sauna entirely to yourself, even at the wee hours in the morning. Sauna is a mixed gender clothing optional sauna, so just be prepared for that too. You don't have to be naked and you can wear a swimsuit inside. However, the question isn't if you'll see nudity at sauna, it's how much. Remember to be respectful and mindful, don't gawk or stare, and especially be cognizant if you have a camera. Even though Finnish people like to be naked in the sauna, that doesn't mean they want their naked photos plastered all over the internet. If you go to sauna, it's smart to bring your own supplies. Towel, water, maybe some food because it's a bit of a trek to get out there, and if you wish, a bathing suit. But again, it's pretty nice not having to worry about packing one. There are a lot of saunas all over Helsinki, and while I didn't mention all of them, you can't really go wrong with any Finnish sauna. It's like getting a slice of pizza in New York. You still had a slice of pizza in New York. And it's hard to mess up a Finnish sauna, especially in Finland. Just remember, keep the door closed. Ovi kiinni! No niin, mä oikeasti opin paljon mun suomea saunoista. Mä tiedän, mun suomea ei ole täydellinen, mutta se on ymmärrettävää. Ja mä haluan kertoa teille, jos te haluaisitte oppia uusi kieltä, Breittripin kielten opas on hienoa juttua teille. Alright, I think I've spoken enough Finnish, but allow me to explain further. Now, if you want to learn another language, it's one of the best tools you can have in your travel arsenal. It's one of the things that's allowed me to understand and fully appreciate Finland, and I cannot highly value it enough. A lot of the techniques and methods I used are told by Johnny Harris and Nathaniel Drew in the Bright Trip course itself. So it's definitely worth checking out if you want to learn a language and actually use it. If you just want to broaden your travel horizons, then Bright Trip also has amazing opportunities for you too. Check us out.